Hey there, Foxy Gamers! Welcome back to Planet Coaster! You can hear the sleigh bells in the music today because the winter patch is out. Hooray! And because of that, we are continuing our Legoland, but I'm going to put it in the Arctic Park. Yay! We'll call this Winter Legos.
Hey.
And then I'm just going to put in the blueprints of the Lego characters I had. Woo, pretty! Finally, I'm so happy they added snow to the game, but I hope that means they're eventually going to add weather effects so that people can actually be cold. Although, who wants to go to a theme park when it's cold out, right? But anyway, let us plop down our Unikitty. Why do I have... I'm not sure why I have two of these, but... Meow. And Emmet, he is unfinished, but I made a blueprint just so that we could put him in this park. There we go! Hooray! Okay, so to continue on today, we need to figure out how to make his hair and his mouth. And I think I'm going to start with the hair. Oh, first of all, we need to add this to the building. Let's stick this down there. And there we go. Okay. So what I think we're going to do is use a bunch of these kind of flat sphere, or oblate spheroid, as they're called. And we'll just sort of pile them on top of each other. It's not going to look super awesome, but we'll see how well we can do this. I'm gonna start off with big ones, and then we will fill in detailed areas with smaller ones. So I'm going to work on the hairline area first. I'd like to cover up this little seam we have there. His hair does go down fairly close to his eyes. Okay. Well, wish me luck with this. It's gonna be a little tricky. Also, I think this is too red of a color. His hair is much more, like, desaturated. And maybe on the lighter side? Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Alright, welcome back. That took a long-ass time. And I don't know if it really looks that good, but it'll have to do. So, in hindsight, what I should have done was started off with these spheres here and made just like some big spheres to fill out the volume that I wanted for his hair, and then add the smaller things for like variety and kind of to make it look a little bit more organic. But instead what I started off doing was placing all of these individually and then moving them out to make a volume, and that ended up taking longer, and there's actually probably several pieces that we can't even see right now, but I'm not going to bother with deleting them because it'd be really hard to get to them. I'm just going to pay attention to that moving forward. Oh, whoops. I realized we are missing the little clip here. Yeah, what happened was I apparently forgot to save my game last time, and so this whole little front part I had to redo. But let's throw on that clip piece here for the piece of resistance, is what I meant to call it last time, but I could not think of the name. Alrighty, now for the mouth. And this is going to be the super tricky part. But I think what I can do is use these triangles because they have the smallest edge, kind of like I did down here. And potentially I can make a smile out of using these as kind of an outline. I could potentially go with just a regular smile, but I want to have his teeth in here, so I'm gonna see if we can do that. Although I might need to reorient this building because, yeah, what happened is I got off of the grid from this building, and so the world axis is actually kind of messed up. So let me see if I can do this first. Alright, that's close enough. So now we'll see if my theory is correct in thinking that it will be easier to put in these details. I could very well have just wasted my time, but we'll find out soon enough. That should be better this way. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is going to be a little tricky. I hope we can achieve what I want. Alright guys, this is what I came up with, and it looks abysmal. So, I don't think this is gonna work. Let me undo all of this, and instead of having a big grinning smile, we are just gonna have to go with the regular Lego smile, which I know it's super annoying and boring, but unless you have an idea for me, this is pretty much what we're gonna have to do. So, my apologies, but that's the way it is. So let's see if I can make it out of this. Or is that gonna be too thick? Yeah, that's gonna be too big. Okay, back to the triangle. We still need to use this guy, but we just won't have as big of a mouth. Alright, there we go, guys. I at least made his smile a little asymmetrical to try and give him a little bit of charm and character. And now that I think about it, it looks like this is a little too high. Oh no. Now we get into this territory where it's hard to click on these guys because they're like right on the surface. So this is what I've been having to do, is I will right click to delete the one that's in my way. And then if you select what you want and hit undo, it'll come back, but you won't lose your selection. It's kind of a half-assed way to go, but it's better than the alternative. So there we have it. Well, since we couldn't make his face completely like I wanted, I think I'm gonna flesh this out just a bit more. Oh, and thanks a lot to Stephen England, who pointed out to me that if you select something that's already been placed, and instead of hitting Control Z, instead of hitting Control D to just duplicate it where it's going to show up at your cursor, if you hit Control X, it will duplicate it in that spot and give you the manipulator, which is super fucking awesome. I don't know why I never discovered that before, or if it's even in the control menu. I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked for it yet, so it might be. But anyway, let's finish this guy. And I think it will be almost time for us to call it good for Emmet. Okay guys, there we go. I decided to give him a little bit more detail just because we weren't able to make the mouth the way we wanted it. And now for the super easy detail of adding the piece of resistance. Except this might be a little too big. Also, I don't want it quite that bright of red because it will hurt my eyes if we do that. Alright, let's see how this is going to work. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. We can always make it bigger later if we want to. Stick that there, and then we'll need to bring this guy out a bit. Oh my gosh, I already love being able to hit Control X. It's the best thing ever. Except we don't want it going through that, so back these up a bit. Okay, and to top it off with cute little Lego block. Oh man, don't tell me these don't look like the right size comparison. Grr! Well, too bad. It's gonna have to do because I'm not about to make another shape myself with these things. So we'll just sink this in a little bit and make it slightly taller. There we go! Yay! It's Emmet! Now I want to give him a walking motion. Maybe. Don't want that piece. Okay, we're gonna definitely need to select all of these at once because otherwise we'll never get them lined up again. Not you guys. Come on now. No! Oh, this is the tricky part, trying to deselect all this crap. Well, poopers. I don't want you, piece in the middle. Arg. Well, let's see what happens when we rotate this, I guess. No. There we go. Ugh. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Well, that one's selected easy. Why couldn't I do that with the other leg? Seriously? Maybe I'll try this again. Another reason to have as few pieces as you possibly can, so that there's not as much to accidentally select. Let's see, make sure it stays in line with this crotch. Yeah, look at that Lego crotch. And we will rotate the other one forward. Ta-da! There we go. Sort of. Yeah, that works. Why not? So I'm just realizing now that we made his head too tall. Now that we have the hair on him, we can actually see that. So, what I'm gonna do is delete a couple pieces. I think 2 ought to do it. And then see if we can just squish all this down. And I'll have to delete 2 pieces out of my Lego head blueprint. Blueprint. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. So we'll just scooch everything else down. Maybe his mouth is mostly okay there, but just for good measure. Ah! There! Wow, that made a huge difference. Just shrinking down his head a tad. Yeah, maybe even one more piece? I can't tell. I think that's pretty good. The shape of his hair isn't perfect, but we can always fix that at a later time. But for now, I think we are done. And let's grab all this, separate it out, scooch him up just a tad because now his feet aren't on the ground. Okay, it is time to finally save out our Emmet. I will just replace the one we have here. Oh, that's so cute! Hooray! It's not too bad that we don't have his entire smile, I guess. It's Emmet! I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's Emmet. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing. Aw, look, they're so cute together. No, I don't want the building. I just want this guy. Move him over to Unikitty. Yay! I think that's approximately the right size. I could be wrong, but I remember Unikitty actually being fairly large in the movie. So, yeah, they're friends now. Okay. Well, that took a lot longer than I was expecting. Almost 3 whole episodes, but for my actual time, it was totally like, I don't know, 4 hours to make all this. It'll get a little bit faster as I go on, but right now, it's super slow. So, as I said last episode, I'm going to stop on the characters for now just because they take such a long time and I'd really like to get some environments going on. And instead, we're going to work on making Emmet's house. Now, I'm not going to make him actually sit on his couch or anything because I think posing these guys would be way too hard. But I do want to make it the proper size. And this time, instead of using Art Deco pieces, as much as we can, we're going to use regular pieces. Gingerbread roof. No, not that, but it's cute to see anyway. Now, we need to be able to do something that we can change the color of. So it might just be either concrete, which doesn't... I don't know if that's really gonna look plasticky if we... No. We want to be able to make really bright colors with this, so it might have to be... No. Okay, it's gonna have to be the panel roof, which I'm not a huge fan of because it's got that line down the middle and that kind of breaks what we're going for, but seems to be our only option. Also, I want this to be proper with world axis, so let's make sure that is the case. Yes. Alright, so if we just automatically place something down like that, it will be lined up to the world. Okay, so this is just going to be the floor of his house, which maybe I have the wrong color. There we go. Or his apartment, rather. I guess it's more like an apartment. I'm not entirely sure what my plans are for using this. I might put an entire ride inside his apartment because it's going to be kind of big. Or they might just be places that guests can walk around in. We shall see. Alright. So now for his countertops. Everything we're gonna use is probably just gonna be the panel stuff. But let's see what we have. Right, so this is kind of a weird green color. It's honestly sort of an ugly color, but you know, he's a Lego person. He probably doesn't have the best taste. But I like the brick look of his real apartment, so let's see if we can do that by using... Actually, that's not going to matter because I think these just attach seamlessly together. Yeah. And there's already a panel in between anyway. Let's see, do I want it flush with the edge or on top? I'm gonna have it out here. Okie doke. So there's the beginning layout of his apartment. Just trying to make sure we have it the right size compared to him. So let's start building a couch. Now the couch may have to actually be Art Deco pieces. Yeah, I think we're gonna need to do that. But we will put it as part of the building so that we don't have to worry about lining it up properly. Actually, you know what? I realize how long this video is going on, so I'm gonna just finish out the layout of the room here. And we'll wait to add the details of his couch next episode. But make sure we have the right size first. His windows are going to be a little off because this is the narrowest piece that I think I have. Unless, ooh, actually, I could do this. How good would that look? I don't know if that's going to exactly match this wall piece. Yeah, the color is a little off, but maybe it'll be okay. And we don't have that little brick texture look, but once again, got to kind of improvise with this. Alright, let's make sure our Emmet is the proper size. Whoops. Why are we... There we go. Okay, it's a little too small yet, but that's no problem. We'll just push these over. Alright, there we go, guys. The beginnings of his hideously colored apartment. I never even realized just how horribly the colors clashed until I started making this. They are probably a little bit off, but we can always change that later if we want to. Okay, guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. Once we get this room finished up, I will also upload that to the workshop. But for the meantime, you can download Emmet for your parks in the description below, and be sure to follow me on Steam for adding any of these things, as I usually add them the night before my recordings go up, so you can get a sneak preview if you want to. Alright guys, thanks a lot for joining me. I'm pretty excited to get started on this actual environment of our park, so I hope it turns out as great as you all imagined. Anyway, thanks a lot guys, and until next time, stay foxy everyone.